Today's confession from the dark comes from an evil doctor in England who committed unspeakable crimes on his patients and more. This story is about to blow your mind.
Welcome to the shadows where secrets reside. Confession.
The Deadly Doctor, the Harold Shipman story in the quiet English town of Hyde, Greater Manchester. There was a Dr. Harold Shipman that everyone trusted and loved like family. With his calm demeanor, silver hair, and a reassuring smile, he seemed the perfect family doctor, the kind you'd hope to find when you were at your most vulnerable. But behind that warm exterior was a darkness so profound, it would eventually shock the nation. The early years. Harold Frederick Shipman was born on January 14th, 1946, in Nottingham, England. His upbringing was strict, heavily influenced by his controlling and devoutly religious mother, Vera. She adored Harold and instilled in him a sense of superiority that followed him throughout life. When Vera developed terminal lung cancer, young Harold, then just 17, watched her deteriorate. Her pain was eased by regular morphine injections. It was a haunting image, one that would stay with him, possibly shaping the way he would later choose to end lives. Shipman went on to study medicine at the Leeds School of Medicine, and despite an early brush with drug addiction, he was caught forging prescriptions for pethidine, a strong painkiller. He continued to practice medicine. After a brief stint in rehab, he returned to work with little scrutiny, a warning sign that slipped through the cracks, a pattern of death. By the 1980s and 90s, Shipman had established himself as a well-respected general practitioner in Hyde. He ran a solo practice, allowing him complete control over his schedule and records. It was here that the unalivings escalated. Patients, primarily elderly women, began to pass under unusual but seemingly natural circumstances. Shipman would often be the only witness to their final moments and would sign official certificates himself, frequently stating that the cause was old age or natural causes. Families trusted him. Few asked questions, but a local undertaker, Deborah Massey, began to grow suspicious. She noticed an unusual number of passings among Shipman's patients, often occurring at home, often alone, and with Shipman present or arriving shortly before passings. Even more alarming, most were not in poor health. She reported her concerns to Dr. Linda Reynolds at the Brook Surgery. Dr. Reynolds agreed. It was strange. In 1998, she reported Shipman to the local coroner, John Pollard, and police. Even a taxi driver, John Shaw, told police he suspected Shipman of unaliving 21 patients. Shaw became suspicious as many of his elderly customers that he would often transport, that were seemingly in good health, passed in Shipman's care a missed opportunity. Police launched a quiet investigation, but lacked enough forensic or statistical experience to understand the scale of the pattern. After just weeks, the investigation was dropped and Shipman was cleared. He continued to unalive and even grew bolder. The killing that sparked it all. The turning point came with the death of Kathleen Grundy, a well-known and active 81-year-old woman who was found dead in her home in June 1998. Shipman had been her doctor and the last person to see her alive. Grundy's daughter, a solicitor, was shocked when she discovered her mother had allegedly amended her will, leaving everything, roughly £400,000, to Shipman. Suspicious, she reported the matter to the police. Kathleen's body was exhumed. Autopsy results revealed high levels of morphine, administered within hours of death. The arrest and trial. Shipman was arrested in September 1998. Over time, the investigation expanded, and police uncovered a staggering number of similar deaths, all with similar traits: elderly patients, sudden death, morphine in the bloodstream, and Shipman as the attending physician. In 2000, he was convicted of 15 unalivings, though inquiries would later suggest he had unalived at least 215 patients, with some estimates going as high as 250 or more. He received 15 life sentences, with a recommendation he never be released. As of December 1st, 2023, Shipman is the only British doctor to have been convicted of unaliving patients. Shipman's legal representatives tried unsuccessfully to have the Grundy case tried separately from others, as a motive was shown by the alleged forgery of Grundy's will. Shipman denied his guilt, disputing the scientific evidence against him. He never made any public statements about his actions. Shipman's wife, maintained that he was not guilty, even after his conviction. The end of Shipman. On January 13th, 2004, one day before his 58th birthday, Harold Shipman was found hanged in his cell at Wakefield Prison. He had taken his own life, denying the families of his victims the full truth behind his motives or the exact number of lives he took. Shipman reportedly told his probation officer that he considering suicide to assure his wife's financial security after he was stripped of his National Health Service pension. His wife received his full pension. She would not have been entitled if Shipman had lived past the age of 60. In total, 459 people died in his care between 1971 and 1998. The number that he caused is unknown. Legacy and impact. Police investigated other deaths that Shipman had certified and investigated 15 specimen cases. They discovered a pattern of his administering lethal doses of morphine, signing patients' death certificates, and then falsifying medical records to indicate that they had been in poor health. 6 doctors would be charged who signed cremation forms for Shipman's victims with misconduct, claiming they should have noticed a pattern between Shipman's home visits and his patients' deaths. All of the doctors would be found not guilty. The horror of Shipman's crime sent shockwaves through Britain. A massive inquiry, the Shipman Inquiry, led to sweeping changes in how doctors are monitored, how official certificates are issued, and how controlled substances are tracked in medical practice. For years, he had been the face of trust and care. In the end, he became a symbol of betrayal on an unimaginable scale. Thank you for tuning into today's Confession from the Dark. We hope you enjoyed this crazy story. Please consider subscribing to our channel, as we will be bringing you the most cringeworthy stories we can find.
These tales are a testament to the power of belief, for the strange is familiar and the truth is a thief. Do you believe? Tell me, what do you know? Are you among us? Just tell us and we'll go.